Let's talk about a hidden framework that pretty much governs our lives, whether we realize it or not. I'm calling it the architecture of uncertainty.
Okay, I want you to picture this. You're in a casino. The lights are low, everyone's kind of holding their breath, and you hear that hypnotic click-clack of a little white ball just dancing around a spinning wheel.
All right, now let's jump to a totally different arena. It's late at night. There's this lone trader just bathed in the blue light from their computer screen. And they're staring, just tracing these jagged lines of a market chart, like it holds some kind of secret language. And one last scene. Total, utter silence. Two opponents, one board between them. A hand is just hovering over a chess piece, and in that tiny moment, a whole universe of possibilities is just hanging in the balance.
A casino, a market, a game. They seem so different, right? But underneath it all, they are all haunted by the exact same question. Can we really know what's going to happen next? You know what's really fascinating here is an idea from the brilliant computer scientist Alan Turing. He said that games aren't just for fun. He called them compressed realities. These perfect, simplified little worlds where we can actually study how we make decisions when the future is a total unknown. All right, so let's dive into our first compressed reality. We're heading back to the casino, stepping right into the world of pure, unadulterated chance. So get this, the wheel has landed on red 6 times in a row. A gambler at the table sees this, and this confident smile just spreads across his face. He doubles his bet, whispering to himself, black is due. He can feel it. He's convinced the universe owes him one. But that feeling? It's a classic mental trap. It's called the gambler's fallacy. And here's the cold, hard reality. The roulette wheel has no memory. It has no idea it just landed on red. The odds of it landing on black on this next spin are exactly the same as they were on the very first spin. The math simply does not care.
Okay, now let's leave that world of simple chance and enter the dizzying, chaotic world of the financial markets. And here we run into something even more seductive, the illusion of control.
Remember our trader? They're seeing patterns in the chaos. They spot a particular chart setup that they believe never fails. They confidently click buy, and in that one brief electric moment, it feels like they've solved the puzzle. It feels like control.
And then the market moves. But here's the crucial thing to get. It doesn't move against the trader. It just moves independently of them. Markets aren't there to reward our beliefs or prove us right. They're just ruthless environments that test our discipline in the face of pure uncertainty.
So we've seen pure chance, and we've seen sheer complexity. Let's look at our third and final compressed reality, which is a total contrast, a game of pure strategy, like chess. Now what's so fascinating here is what's missing. There is zero randomness, no lucky dice rolls, no random cards from a deck. It is just 2 players with the exact same information and the exact same rules. Every single outcome is the result of one decision stacked on top of another. Intelligence here isn't about predicting a random event. It's about outthinking another human being. So after touring these 3 worlds, what have we learned? Well, it turns out a few brutal truths start to emerge. First, and let's just be blunt about it, casinos are not charities. The entire system, every single game on that floor, is designed with a slight mathematical edge in favor of the house. And over time, the house always wins. And in that same spirit, markets are not giveaways. There's no free money just sitting there for you to grab. Every single gain is balanced by someone else's risk or potential loss.
And that brings me to this final point. The next time you see an ad for a secret system to beat the market or the casino, just remember this. These games have been analyzed by the most brilliant minds and most powerful computers in history. If a real foolproof loophole actually existed, trust me, it wouldn't be for sale in an ebook, it would be a state secret.
This all leads to a really fundamental shift in mindset. It's the core difference between 2 kinds of people, the player and the thinker.
Just look at the difference in the questions they ask. The player is obsessed with prediction. They're always asking, what will happen next? They're desperately looking for certainty. But the thinker asks a much smarter set of questions. They ask, what are the odds of all the possible outcomes? And, more importantly, what is my risk? How do I manage my position if I turn out to be wrong? This single shift from seeking certainty to managing uncertainty is everything.
So where does that leave us? Well, the wheel is going to keep spinning. The market is going to keep moving. The game will go on, with or without us. But the people who survive and actually thrive in these environments over the long run, they aren't the people who just got lucky once. Nope. They're the ones who stopped chasing the illusion of certainty and instead started to build a deep, profound respect for uncertainty itself.
And that's really the ultimate lesson. The real edge was never about winning every time. It was about building the discipline to survive your losses, so you could stay in the game long enough to play another day. It was about not losing when it matters most.